Get in, nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. This is the beginning of a very important episode because it's the episode when the run ends. So I think we're basically going to take this right to the end of the run, and I think when the run ends, we're going to be potentially in the middle of our war with Tripolitania, because we've got just about... We're at 90 infamy, and we need to be below 83, and that's going to be in about a year. So I think... Yeah, I think that's where we're going to be. I devoted a bunch more influence to improving relations with Bemba here. So I think I'm going to dial back my improving relations with Bengal for the moment. Excuse me, just to make sure I've got some extra influence. Russia is still antagonistic towards us. I've been improving relations with them. How's their war with America doing? What's going on in Dai Nam? Dai Nam is fighting a Cambodian proletarian revolt. Interesting. Route exporting Austrian man-o-wars is inactive. Neat. I didn't know I was exporting man-o-wars to Austria. Gosh, I sure am selling Austria a lot of engines. That is 13,200 convoys worth of engines. Just going to go ahead and cancel some of these unproductive trade routes. And we can live with this one. It's bringing in oil. Coal too, we definitely need that. Nice. Everything continues apace. We're still really struggling to get a lot of the resources that we need in order to keep our economy effectively growing, but you know, that's why we're doing what we're doing here in Tripolitania and in other places. I'm also hoping that at least some of these countries are able to provide us with some iron, some of those other earth resources. Venezuela, you are really not producing the number of oil rigs that I would like you to be producing right now. And as your overlord, I'm looking forward to that. So what is it going to take from an infamy perspective for us to annex them? 16.9, so not actually that much. Which is good for us because we are very high on infamy right now. Oh my goodness. British Republic, what? Hold on. So, Communist Great Britain, Universal Suffrage Council Republic, has a communist revolt. And what is it over? Suffrage Council Republic, interventions in free trade, per capita taxation. Just quickly checking this stuff. It's over professional army. That's what it is. Communist Great Britain has mass conscription. Possibly also something about... Yeah, workers' rights. That's what it's about. Workers' protections and protected speech. Versus the British Republic, which has Right of assembly and no workers' rights. They both have wage subsidies. I think they both have women's suffrage as well. Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting. What a wild situation. Great Britain, you really, really have to... Let's see if Great Britain can win another one of these revolts. All by its lonesome. And once again, we have an uprising happening. So this is the Unyamwezi uprising. I wonder if a council republic headed up by the landowners. That's wild. This is in Tanganyika. Interesting. Okay. Wild. And then there's also a communist revolt happening in the Republic of Orania and a Tswana uprising. That's interesting. Decolonization is happening early with everything in Great Britain going sideways the way it is. And meanwhile... So I'm going to wait until one of these until this main civil war pops off here. And then I think I'm going to just go ahead with my diplomatic play against Tripolitania, because I'm feeling pretty confident. Putting engines to the Philippine market is no good. Interesting. Wonder why that's going on. But we can get rid of it. If they want our engines, they can buy them. Spain sides with the British Republic. That's interesting. What about you, Prussia? Are you in a war? You're in a war against a Gujarati uprising, and you're losing. Incredible. Oh, no, this isn't... This is just peace acceptance. You're actually in a moderate... Well, no, they are losing. That's really funny. That's so funny, oh my gosh. They fought Great Britain for that territory, and they took it, and then lost it to the locals. See, we're the only country that can really make an empire happen. Interestingly, Austria's been grabbing chunks of Europe, I see. We're very close now, and I don't much care for that. And this should get going pretty soon. That's so funny. Things are wild over there. Come on. Come on. Poking it with a stick like, Great Britain, get into a war. Oh, there's something going on in the Philippines. There's a capitalist revolt. Oh, interesting. Philippines got free somehow. Probably during Spain's most recent civil war. Alright, that war has become hot. We are at below 83 infamy. Tripolitania, you're coming with me. Interesting. Morocco will join them. Go ahead and get rid of all these. Alright, so we just need one general. Let's grab another general from the Senegal HQ. We'll grab, there's another one. Just gave him a bunch of promotions. Okay, I need to pause it so that I can not have a bunch of things happening while I'm trying to find my general here. This guy. And then I can have a general from the France HQ. hold up. Yeah. Handle this front. And we'll go ahead. I'm just going to activate some of my conscripts in Senegal HQ. And maybe one. Yeah, we'll do 2 in the France HQ. Just kind of let that go. That'll be the way it goes. I have extremely high confidence in my capacity to win these battles. Tripoli is the capital, right? What kind of army do you have? Yeah, light infantry with cannon artillery. I'm not worried about this situation. So who in Europe, if anyone, wishes to stand against me is the question. Still extremely infamous, but I'll be able to get my infamy down in the upcoming years, particularly as the post-game sets in. Interestingly, Austria has managed to stay pretty rebellion-free in recent times, at least. Parliamentary republic, universal suffrage, protected speech, and guaranteed liberties is probably helping them with a lot of that. Do they have a bunch of turmoil, however? Let's take a look. Not that much. Especially in recently conquered territories, which I think these are. That's interesting. So what else is going on? We have a proletarian revolt going on in Rwanda. Which is here. And Russia is on one side of that for some reason. We have an Afro-Caribbean uprising against the British in the Bahamas. That's interesting. Would love to get them into our empire when the time comes. Hesse-Kassel is rebelling against Prussia. And we have an aristocratic revolt rocking South Africa. And a proletarian revolt in Sambas, which is, I'm going to say, in Indonesia? Yes, here we go. Cool. Everywhere in the world, things are popping off. And it looks like we have, once again, successfully ensured that nobody goes against us. I'm going to build another pipeline. This happens all the time. Alright, well, let's go ahead and increase the speed here. Canada. How could you rival me like this? I thought we were friends. Canada. 2 arms. Canada, what is our relationship like? Oh, it's not great. Well, we'll be able to fix that later if we wish to, but we don't necessarily have to, and if we don't, it's not a tragedy. So, we got 5 battalions here against their 15, and we are for sure winning due to our excellent tanks against their swords and muskets. Depending on the type of situation, you can potentially use a sword and or a musket against a tank, but you're really not using it against the tank itself. You're using it against the crew after you've opened the little hole on the top that lets you climb in and start stabbing people. And once that's happened, you can win a battle against a tank crew with a musket, provided they don't have a pistol or some other weapon that would be convenient to kill you with. Really, a grenade is the weapon you want if you are within jumping onto distance of a tank and trying to win a battle with a tank. But at least that's what my understanding is. I'm not an enormously wise person when it comes to anti-tank warfare. Huh. Why is the offense of the revolt troops so low? What's the capital of communist Great Britain, I wonder? Is home counties? Weird. I don't know what to make of that, friends. Still, the conquest of Tripolitania continues apace. Let's go on minus 240, so this should be good to go. Probably right after, probably basically as soon as we get a hold, once we get them down to 0 war support. So this is going to be a very short war. I'm impressed that Prussia has managed to continue to stay completely pretty low on radicals by going maximum civil liberties and whatnot. Mass surveillance is spreading. Interesting. Neat. Wild. We're working on stormtroopers. We just did mass surveillance ourselves, right? I'm not sure. Cool. So after this, we'll queue up the remaining 2... Oh, no. You know what? We don't need those 2 military techs. What we need is arc welding. No. What we need are dough rollers. Dough rollers are rad. Flash freezing, then arc welding, then compression ignition, and then finally we'll do chemical warfare and flamethrowers. Chemical warfare will probably already have spread to us by that point. And then we'll put analytical philosophy in at the bottom. And this should be good. Thank you for joining us, Tripolitania. One day, you will be part of a glorious empire. Prussia's going for a war against Warsaw-Gali now. I don't know why you're doing that, since you already tried to conquer states in India and just whiffed it. But it is what it is. We should have a war with Austria just to humiliate them. That seems like a thing that would be good. Maybe liberate some of these territories in here. We could liberate the Czech Republic. That would give them a buffer between with Prussia, though. I don't necessarily want that. Maybe we could liberate Croatia and Bosnia. Really goof up their internal stability here. Start carving off bits. Maybe sway Russia in by getting them a hold of Galicia. It'd be fun. We do have a pretty thick Austria, which is pretty rare, but I often fear Austria. Oh boy, we have an opium shortage. Hooray. I guess we have a market for opium now. Let's go ahead and pause so that the game doesn't crash while we're trying to start this import route. Where can we get opium from? Very productive to get it from Communist Bengali market and from the Siamese market. Hold on. Are you telling me there's another revolt happening in Bengal? Oh boy, Bengal. You've gotta sort your country out, friendo. There's no excuse for this. British Republic is having a Monday uprising. Which is where? Ah, West Africa. That's exciting. You know, for a long time, I was trying to get these fronts with Great Britain to go away, but they've gone and sorted themselves out, which is really exciting and happy, and I'm very pleased about it. The battle for Peterborough. Oof. So who's winning here? It does look like the communists are winning against the British Republic. Mostly due to them occupying a chunk of the British Republic. And low casualties comparatively? Nope, they're both. British Republic's doing better for casualties. British Republic wants a trade agreement. Yeah, okay, I can afford that. You're currently a minor country. Oh man, standards of living are getting really bad over there. I'm very glad that that Ireland has managed to maintain a solid standard of living compared with their British neighbors. Perfidious Yankeedom. America sided with Bengal for a second and then bailed immediately, which is really, really funny to me. But it is what it is. So in terms of what's next on the docket, I think we might... American Panama exists, but is there some sort of canal here? Nope, they haven't built it. Interesting. Might build that. What is this? Karen. So communist revolt. Canada is attempting to ban slavery in Morocco and subjugate them. Interesting. Hohenzollern and Kabu are having a fight. Kabu, where are you? They're here. Okay, so this was the revolt against Great Britain. I don't know why Hohenzollern... Hold up. I don't know why Hohenzollern thinks it can... Hohenzollern, a starving kingdom, puppet state of Britons isolated in the middle of Austria, thinks it can take on 2 states in Africa, but they do for some reason. Both of these states have decided to not have a war goal? That's bananas. I don't know what to say about that, friends. Situation going on in Azande for here. A little bit of an aristocratic revolt. Whew! Look at that score. We are doing solidly. We're experiencing a little bit of economic shrinkage, but that just kind of is what it is in the late game. Still, we've kept the economy growing a long time. And with the oil we'll be getting from Tripolitania and Venezuela, once we've successfully annexed them, I'm hoping to keep our economy properly growing. The Danish Liberal Revolt seems to have achieved a kind of equilibrium with because Schleswig is between them. So they don't have a front. So the only way they can do anything is by invading each other navally. Oh, that's really funny. We've achieved a kind of peace. North Denmark and... East Denmark and West Denmark. That would be a wild and interesting situation for sure. Oh my goodness. Russia has sided with Morocco against Canada. That's really funny. You get 'em, Russia. So we are still at pretty high infamy, but we're getting there. So what's the timetable for annexing Venezuela? Middle of May 38. Cool. And the British Republic has turned over once again. The rebels won this time. Chairman Jeremy Grimstead, a vanguardist. Nobody likes him. Council Republic Universal Suffrage. Right. This is workers' protections and protected speech. Interesting. A vanguardist leading a revolt for protected speech. And workers' protections, I guess. That's really the main part. What's their investment at? Not very high. Probably can't afford anything better, which, you know, is what it is. And we are about to sail into the endgame screen with, in the top position. I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good with the way this run has turned out. And, be happy to show you post-endgame content as we... I think I might actually allow the United States to build up into a stronger power so that we can have someone to fight. Someone to really get scrappy with over the course of a bunch of 5-year intervals. Maybe we'll eventually conquer them. Who knows? Maybe we'll just grab their foreign territories and isolate them. We'll see. We'll see how things end up going. In Canada, hey, if you ever want to grab Newfoundland and Labrador, you know I'm in. French industrialists are interested in making investments in neighboring Segu industries. He stood up, put his hat in his head, and headed towards the door. At first it seemed he would leave without another word, but then he turned around and spoke with barely suppressed anger. Being accused of lacking patriotism for where I try to make money isn't just insult. It betrays a complete lack of understanding of how money is made. Do you think I made what I have already by thinking provincially? An excellent investment. Segu gets manufacturing tax income, and our relations go up, or strong-arm them into investing domestically to get 10% extra manufacturing income myself. I'm going to do the second one. I don't care if you're mad. I like money so much. Plus we have been doing a little bit not great. And here is the endgame screen. Put these in pie chart form. GDP, as you can see, rose wildly over the course of the game with a with a zenith at 1.89 billion. SOL has been hovering right around 20 since the beginning of the 1930s. Prestige, of course, has been absolutely redonk, and population has gotten huge. The current Emperor of the French is Antoine Bonaparte. The 4th Bonaparte Emperor since Napoleon III. Political strength obviously lies mostly with the capitalists and the engineers, although quite a large number of machinists holding a good amount of political power, which is interesting. Ethnically, most of our political strength is held by French people, but a large number of Irish, Occitan, Franco-Provençal, Wallonian, Alemannic, British, Dutch, and Flemish people also have some power. Population is mostly French and all those groups, although something like, let's say, 8% of the population is other smaller ethnic groups, mostly in areas of Africa and other parts of the world that we've conquered. The country is primarily Catholic, with a Protestant minority and a very small number of animists. And, yeah, that's an empire. Gonna go ahead and hit continue playing. And, yeah, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun. And I will see you all on the other side as we complete a hopefully long and successful post game.